Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly shop steward today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding Pathfinder 2nd Edition, with which we are playing in our custom setting of the Spires of Paridar, a Coalpunk setting of a cult conspiracy, class disparity, and industrial progress. And with me today are the stars of the Spires of Paridar campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing. That's it. I don't see what level are you, but you're all the same level. So first up, we've got Darren.
Hello there, yeah, I'm Darren. I'm playing Dr. Adam Ersprung, who's level 5, so we're all level 5, inventor, and he's got his trusty psychic, Igor, with him.
Nice. Next up is Ingolf.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Basil Rathbone, who is an investigator, Isoki by race.
Very nice. Next up is Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Golag, son of Dak. He is an orc witch detective, and the stalwart anchor of Shadow of Illuminations, or thinks of himself so.
Very nice. When he's not standing shirtless before a painting.
Yeah.
And last, but certainly not least, is James.
James, I'm playing Sally Dumer, Azarketi monk investigator.
Very nice. Now, guys, this is part 8 of our Patchwork Pauper campaign, or mystery, I should say. What happened last time? It's been a month since we played, because I think people were just away, and we played some Savage Supers last time we got together. So what did we miss last time?
Last time we played, Golag made his late appearance at the party and got involved in the conversations with various people, like Watson Foal, Archibald, I think. Yep. We had various conversations with a few people about some ongoing sort of missions and inquiries that we've been doing. But yeah, it was finishing off the party before a solicitor came in with a letter to deliver to the doctor. Mm-hmm. The letter said, actually, I've got it written down here. I think, "Brother, I am sorry I could not attend your party. I do hope you enjoyed your gifts, although you spoiled them early. I thank you for your gift you offered. Thank you, brother, for making me aware of our younger brother. I will look after him. P.S. Kindly enjoy the extra gifts." And at that point, we were set upon by some rather strange creations with chain hands. More abominations that we, Sally and Basil mainly, I think, dispatched quite well. And then, it dawned on Adam at that point that obviously little Adam was in danger. We interrogated the solicitor, let him go, and then we raced off to find out what might have happened to little Adam at Dr. Raycross.
I believe we have... Let me see here. Thought that I had a handout for Hudson Head. Oh, here he is, Hudson Head Esquire.
Oh, yeah.
There's your newest solicitor. Every lawyer a villain in this game. Then what I think where we left off was with you guys pulling up in front of Dr. Raycroft's manor. Okay. Yep. And then anything for anyone else to add? Are we forgetting anything? I'll tell you what I forgot. I forgot to fill out Golag's Necronomicon. I said a month ago I was going to do that and then just didn't do it. So I will write a note that I will try not to ignore this time. Phil.
And that is, oh, okay. Yeah, that's
yeah,
the book on
with
the
all
shelf.
your summoned things. You sent me a list of all the things that you would potentially be summoning with your spells, and I didn't get to it. But we're done with charity sessions for a couple months now, so I can get that done before our next session.
Right on. Cool.
Then, where we pick up is, I guess one thing I would remind you of is that with Golag's clockwork carriage, there is a fair amount of noise that comes with it beyond the regular noise of just the clip-clop of carriages making their way through the streets of Paridar. And as you guys arrive, we saw that I think we mentioned that there were no lights on in the manor, which is unusual for Dr. Raycroft. There should be at least some lights on at this time. But as you guys are kind of piling out of here, you see someone coming towards you from across the street. And this person looks like... Where is it here? I do apologize for the neckline on this. I don't think this is appropriate for Paridar, but otherwise, imagine it's covered with chiffon or something. Or what do you call it? Chemise. It is a gnomish woman. Who comes out. And her accent suggests that she is someone of means. And what she's calling out to you still, I say. And
yes.
She seems to be talking to you, Golag. You've got your, taking your goggles off. You're, finger by finger taking your driving gloves off. We've had quite enough of this noise out here.
Madam, I'm quite certain I don't know what you're talking about. What, please be more plain spoken.
All evening we've had these carriages coming and going, and then you bring the loudest one last. This simply won't do. This type of... Whatever deliveries need to be done should be done in the morning, at a respectable hour, and without such a ruckus. You can see, whatever else is going on in the Raycroft Manor, it's wholly inappropriate for this time of night, and certainly for this neighborhood.
I will climb down, straighten my tunic, and...
She's looking up and down, because you just came from a party as well, too. She's like, what?
Maybe smell of booze.
Looks at all of you.
You never know.
Quite possibly, but just everyone's in their finest gear as well, too.
Yeah.
What precisely is going on here?
Madam Golag.
My name is not Golag, sir.
Mine is. What's your name, madam?
I am Estelle.
Well, Estelle, pray, what's been so noisy? We just arrived. If you would.
I need not explain everything that's happening here, but with the ruckus that's going on in the Raycroft Manor, the carriages and hansom cabs being called, and the deliveries coming with those large shipments, is this not all part of something, or is the Raycroft Manor ordering things at all hours of night, delivered by all manners of individuals? And why are you dressed for a party? I did not receive...
At this point, Adam's going to have to interrupt at this point and just run past, and he'll probably even shove her out of the way to get past her, and he'll be just running for the front door.
Yeah, so
not listen to any of this rubbish anymore.
Could you just tell, were there people carrying away stuff as well, or was just things brought here?
I don't know what was going on. People seemed to be laughing, and there were things coming and going. I did not look out, but I certainly heard it. So, Dr. Ursprung, you go racing up to the front. You find, unusually for Dr. Raycroft, the front door is askew. Let me see, did I set it up yet? I did not. Give me a second here. I have another slightly muddy gray, illustration or photo that I'm going to get confused with a bunch of other ones. I need to add here. Let's see. Here we go. But maybe I can Hold on here. Raycroft entrance. There we go. I've at least given me a fighting chance to try and identify this one from any other one. There we go. And this is what you find when you run inside. Boom, boom. Everybody go. Voila. So, you race inside, and unlike the illustration here, there is no lighting whatsoever. I believe that you have dark vision, Dr. Ersprung, so you can make out all the details of what's in here. But there are no lights, which is very unlike Dr. Raycroft. He keeps a warm and welcoming home.
He's only got low light vision, so...
Oh, so then you can see a little bit of detail for like the rug that's coming in directly from the door, the light that's being cast from the moonlight. The gnomish woman, Estelle, says, This is a brutal assault on my person. This will not stand. The amount of I'll be telling my father, she says, and turns, and she looks like she's going to be heading back to her house to raise a ruckus of her own. You can certainly try and say something. Some of you are not without, remarkable charms. Or you just let her go.
I might be the last. Well, either it looks like maybe Basil or me are the last remaining. I say, Madam, we'll see about it. We'll look into the noise. We take your complaint seriously.
Yeah, we were just called to look after those noisy things going on here.
So why don't Golag, would you give us a diplomacy check, and Basil, give us a bluff. Is it bluff? Is that what I want, or is it deception?
Yeah.
And perhaps even though she's
deception,
deception.
She's too far away and everything, I may be holding out a card, Shadow of Illuminations, as she goes.
Of course, yeah.
She goes away.
Deception. So I think she stops and looks back and realizes, once she hears what Basil said, she walks over and snaps the card. And there are two, it's said that inside the of any, busybody, idle, rich young person, there are two wolves. One of those wants to make a ruckus over, and cause problems for those of the lower class to put them in their station. And the other wolf wants to know about gossip of the neighbors. And it seems that whichever wolf you feed is the one that dominates this NPC. And she has had her gossip wolf very well fed. So the idea that there is suddenly something to be learned about the Raycrofts is immediately fascinating to her. So her demeanor shifts altogether. And, but Dr. Ersprung, cutting back to you, you run inside. Has Sally or Basil moved at all?
No, I would just...
Are you still dealing with this woman?
Yes, and I would ask her for her name, because I think that whoever was here is already gone, and we have to follow them.
Sure. Give me a second here. I normally have this open.
Yeah, and if Adam finds someone, there will be some kind of noise.
Estelle Fulmore.
Estelle Fulmore, okay.
I'll change her thing as well. Yeah, this is one of the few campaigns we run where I actually name handouts what they actually are instead of something stupid.
Okay.
Here we go. So there is Estelle Fulmore. She is very curious as to what is... Well, we heard the sounds of coming from the manor from before. And Dr. Raycroft, we're going to come back to the gossiping of Miss Fulmore in a moment, but Dr. Ersprung, having stepped in here and seeing the that there are no lights nor sound inside Raycroft Manor. What do? You remember, like, that you normally met by that, you know, that very, you know, curt but professional servant. There's no sign of him, nor any other household staff, nor any of Dr. Raycroft's family.
Yeah, I'm sort of searching around, looking for any signs of like muddy footprints, things being scraped along the floor, and I'm telling Igor to do the same thing, so we're sort of spread out.
Yeah, why don't you give us a perception check for Igor first?
Okay.
I think he's more assisting you with this task.
Yeah, just trying to cover a bit more ground.
Okay, and then would you give us a perception check for Dr. Ersprung, please? Okay. There are a couple of things that are on display here. For one, you can see there are large, heavy, that's a really great roll, big, heavy footprints, very similar to what you found where that man was stomped to death, and what you found left by the creatures that were enclosed in those crates that you had picked up from that warehouse yesterday, I guess. You also find what appears to be the raised heel and you know, and then the separate sole of a woman's boot. Again, very similar to what was found at the scene of that murder when that man was stomped to death outside of the church. You also can see something else. It's as if something was... someone was on all fours and moving their way around, because there's a lot of handprints on the ground too. It's around then when you can hear as well the sound of clockwork. Something is multiple things, almost like imagine like a really noisy wind-up alarm clock, but there's got to be at least 5 of them. And it seems to be coming from the second story where the balcony is. What do you do? There is ample, as in the illustration here, there's ample amounts of light and whatnot, and the servants would keep, you know, long wick matches nearby as well too. So if you wish to strike these, they are not lit, but you will be able to at least have a candelabra to carry around. This is a Victorian style mansion. I'm pretty sure there's standard equipment to have a, you know, candelabra equipped to walk around with.
Yeah, I'll put Igor on sort of guard duty almost, as I just light up some candles and such, so that I've got some light.
So you start lighting up the candles, and that whirring and ticking sound is getting louder as well. And you're looking up. Is that sound getting closer? We'll go outside for a moment. So Basil, Golag, and Sally, what Ms. Fulmore has to tell you is that there were sounds that they thought were highly inappropriate for late in the evening. They thought there were sounds of cries out, which they thought were laughing. There was a large... not transport wagon, I guess, but like a large wagon that was covered with tarp, the kind of thing that you would transport either unseemly or unsightly, you know, or cargo that cannot be exposed to the elements. Normally, you just use a wagon, toss the crates in the back there, and you go along. You only use a covered wagon when you've got something or some people that you're transporting that cannot be exposed to the elements. But there also was a cab that sat there for quite some time. It seems that the idle rich in Paridar have the same, you know, level of concern as, like, say, my father, the retiree, who will stand at the window and be like, "Why is that cab still here? It's been here for 20 minutes." That is precisely what her father was doing. Is there was a hansom cab stop there that seemed to be there for ages, and it was irritating her father because it was either why did they not leave, or why are they waiting there? They cannot park there. This is not a parking place.
So her father is not the kind of person that would write down the plate number of such a cab. I mean, maybe they have something like that.
He actually is, and they do have the name for that. It was the Sterling Cab Company.
Ah, yeah. Unfortunately, good lady, I suppose that there has been a kidnapping going on because we were chasing a said Sterling Cab Company
He
car.
seems shocked. Kidnapping?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Should the constabulary be called?
I suppose there is not enough time for that. We will see what Dr. Earthbone comes up with.
So
he
Sally,
should return immediately.
Oh, sorry, engulf that. Sally, you do call out to Doctor. Do you need some company? So you can picture you guys are at the kind of the entrance to this. There's a small courtyard, and then there's the entrance to the mansion itself. I picture that Golag and Basil are dealing with Ms. Fulmore right at the where they've parked outside the gates. Just inside there is where maybe Sally has walked to be equidistant between the front door and where this production with this little gnomish woman is going on. And Dr. Earthsprung, you are just inside the door cast wide so that some light is being cast inside from the moon overhead, and you just kind of lit up the candles, and you can hear that clockwork sound getting closer. What do you guys do next?
Golag's going to replace his hat that he had in his hand and say, "Duty calls, ma'am," and goes bounding into the manor.
All right, so you go bounding up into the manor just in time for Dr. Earthsprung to finish lighting the one candelabra. You turn around and see Golag's face come in. He has that kind of like, okay, what are we doing? And that is about the time that you hear the sound, or at least you're able to identify the source of the, what do you call it, of the crawling sound. It seems that the source of your sound is about 25 severed hands that have clockwork mechanisms set into them. So they prop up as if they have a little head, and they all kind of get to the edge of the banister so you can see them coming, and then they begin cascading down, crawling down. And we're going to roll for some initiative here. So, let me get the clockwork hand. Perhaps unsurprisingly, I had difficulty finding a specific illustration to match what I had in mind. But, fortunately, there is an abundance of severed hand, things online. I do not know
More than
what
you suspected.
Make sure you're clicking on your token before you roll initiative 2. You must be Wendy. All right. Let me get my stats for this setup here. Hold on. Once again, I was going to grab my cards, and I'm like, it's usually more trouble than it's worth to put them all back afterwards. And here we go. Oh, nice roll, Dr. Earthsprung. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I marked down.
Finally.
Which,
And it wasn't worth waiting for either.
They take a sweet time rolling.
Well, you got to take your time to do a roll that bad.
So it's a good point. We are just past noon. Everyone's going to get another hero point, and you are welcome to spend a hero point to reroll initiative if you choose.
I will keep it for now. A lady is never late.
You're like wizards. Okay.
I'm sure I'll
which
have
detective?
need of a point shortly.
That is quite possible. Let's see here. 16. Okay.
It'll always turn in handy.
All right. Okay. So we got that, and let me. Each of these is going to represent a bundle of about 6. A bundle of about 4. Let's put these down here. There is a lot.
It's a horde. It's a horde of hands.
Horde of hands, yeah. There we go.
Oh,
All right.
no.
And they get, let's see here. Ooh. That's actually a pretty good roll. Okay. All right. So then, let me extend this out here. So we got everybody. There we go. And starting at the top, Dr. Ersprung, perhaps unsurprisingly. So these things are probably about 30 feet away from you at this point. Or they're all just sort of, if you want to really picture in your mind's ear what the sound of about 25 severed hands hitting the ground sounds like, that is what you've just heard, and begin to kind of make their way as a carpet towards you.
So they have reached the floor, have they?
They have reached the floor, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think we're going to try and start disabling some of these.
Okay.
So Igor will move forward and take a smash with his.
Go
his
right
hammer
ahead. Yeah,
at
that's
one
probably
of
move
them.
away. That's probably a better way of thinking of it, is whether it's a move or not. I think you guys all move at the same rate, except for Sally.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I might be a little bit slower, but yeah. So Igor will take a smack at the first
Nice.
one he comes close to.
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to. Okay. Yeah, so you get over there and start stomping and smashing on these, or Igor does, on these things. And he squishes like 2, and then busts the arm or the left hand part of the hand off of one of the others. That's only 2 actions so far. Were you giving him 3 for the round, or?
Yeah, so he's going to have one more swing.
Okay, go right ahead.
Before Doctor uses the last one.
All right. That's also destroys one whole horde. Oh, I should have checked which one's my. Ooh, look at that narrow miss. The next one is mine. I'm going to put the thing on here so I remember which one's my initiative tracker. Okay. Dr. Ersprung, that means you still have 1 action yourself.
Yep. What am I going to do this time? Yeah, I'm just going to try and position myself so that me and Igor can work as a team and sort
Okay.
of.
These,
flank each other,
you're
sort of
actually
thing,
not
like-
going to be able to really flank
I
these
suppose
things.
they're a group though, aren't
Yeah,
they?
because they're
sort
a
of-
swarm of
Yeah.
things. So, all right. Then it is the claws' turn. All right, so we're going to get 2 packs of claws crawling all over Igor. We'll have 2 on Dr. Ersprung. And the other will go... Golag, what are you in for here? Oh, my goodness. All right. So what I need is for Igor to give us 2 reflex saves, please. Dr. Ersprung to give us 2 reflex saves, and Golag to give us 1 reflex save, please. Okay, Golag, no problem. Okay. Golag, which means you take only 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Igor takes 9 points of damage total. And Dr. Ersprung, you take 7 points of damage. What's happening is these things are going over. They are anchoring themselves to you with like the thumb and the pinky finger, and then scratching away with the other things. and they seem to be they're not just simple hands. They seem to have been cured in some way, so their nails are quite hard and their skin is tough and leathery. They're also all none of them are children's hands. They're all adult hands, but like different races in terms of or different ancestries and different skin tones. So wide variety of different people's hands, it seems, that have contributed towards this. Apart from that,
Kevin, I'll mention that I don't know if Blood Vendetta, it's a reaction type spell. I don't know if that might.
Let's see here. Can you click on the spell? Let's see.
You bet. Let's see here.
I think that might be in relation to an attack.
Oh, okay. This isn't an attack. Gotcha.
No, they did damage to you. Yeah, you certainly. A creature deals piercing, slashing, or persistent bleed damage. It is piercing damage, so yeah, you could absolutely use this.
Yeah, I think it's automatic. I don't know if I have a choice, so I mean, I'm just...
No, it's, you always have... Yeah, unless the spell says automatically, you always have a choice of triggering or not triggering abilities.
Gotcha.
Because the thing is, you only have one reaction per round.
Yep. Oh, I see.
Yeah, so if you had that ability, plus you had like a shield up or, a shield spell, your reaction is only once per round. So if you want to do that, yeah. Yeah, it looks like...
yeah. Yep.
Go ahead.
We'll just... Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me check something here. So go ahead and click on it again, because we need your...
okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Solid.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And then I need to make a save here. And let's see. Net 1. So that is double damage for this. So I think let's see, crit damage is 8. Also, remember, you can set it, if you'd like to, guys, to have crit damage only triggered on roll. If you go to the cog of it, if you don't want to see, where it automatically rolls crit damage and you happen to roll less than what you would have rolled for regular damage, you can set that on the character sheet so it triggers and you only roll it when you need to roll crit damage.
Okay.
Okay, so I just know we've had many sessions in this campaign and other PF2 ones where, someone's like, yes, I rolled a crit, and they crit damage is less than the normal damage. So,
yeah.
All right, then. So these things do not suffer bleed damage. However, what does your Blood Vendetta look like, you think?
I think it talks about it as a curse. So I think my shadow starts whispering at it. Starts cursing it with.
Well, it does piercing damage, right? So it's got to be the curse is is just really more of a descriptor. If you look at the damage to figure out what the mechanical effect is, what it might be, for instance, would be your tattoos might lash out with shadows to tear at these things.
Yeah.
In which case, there are like 2 or 3 of these hands are just torn to pieces, broken springs and things flying off of them as your shadows swirl around you. And then, I have one more action with the ones on Dr. Earthsprung and Igor. Would Igor and Dr. Earthsprung give us 2 more reflex saves? Reflex saves are the perception checks of today's session. Okay. So Dr. Earthsprung, one of those, you got a success on one. The other one, unfortunately, is, and Igor gets those. These things are just underfoot. So if you look on your character sheet, there will be a condition called clumsy. You are now clumsy 1. What that does, status penalty equal to the clumsy value on dex checks and DCs, including armor class, reflex saves, range attacks, and skill checks. Well, that's hardly fair. Weren't you just making a whole bunch of reflex saves? Doesn't this make it harder for you to do that? This game, I tell you, vicious feedback cycle. Okay, so yeah, you're stumbling around and tripping over these things as you're trying to face them. I don't have enough actions to trigger that for Golag. So then we are at the end of the round. Golag, you are up next. What are you doing?
Let's see. I am
just as a reminder for those who are spellcasters, only Golag. This is the same night as the party, so whatever spells you used before, you don't have the access to those spell slots yet.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
You would have had enough time to get your focus spells back, though. Okay. So if you've got any focus spells that, like focus points that are required to drive them, you have those back.
All right. I will, thinking about ooh, that's just one. That's good. I'll do a telekinetic projectile against one of them on me.
Sure. Go right ahead.
All right.
Maybe some of the busted springs are picked up and...
Yeah.
Okay, that is hitting on a crit and just smashes the remaining things off of you. All right, that was
one more.
Two actions. Yeah, one more action. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to. So I look over, and it does look like Dr. Ursprung has sustained some damage. Yes.
Yep.
So I will throw a life boost. I will mutter some words and hurl a sustaining spell at him.
This one you actually don't need to sustain.
I'm sorry.
It's got a fixed duration.
That was loose language right there.
Okay, no, I just wanted you to know you didn't need to spend an action each round.
Good call. That was a bad word to use.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's been a month,
It has. I know. In fact, just a minute ago, I was trying to remember. Oh, do I take damage? Armor? No. Armor doesn't come off damage.
Yes. Yeah. We'll get back in the swing of things here. All right. So then, these are the training wheels, Clockwork Claws. That is at the end of your run. So yeah, you feel a flush of shadowy power come around you, Dr. Ursprung, and your wounds will begin knitting back together. Basil, you're up next. What are you doing? So you've heard this cry from inside.
Yeah, I would shout at Miss Fillmore, run inside, hide in your room or so, and then charge into the building.
I think it's probably 2 actions to get to the door.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have 1 more action left. What are you doing? You would see Dr. Ursprung is covered and Igor are covered by these bizarre clockwork hands.
Actually, I would try to figure out if there is some kind of a weakness, like I could maybe attack a bunch of them or so. Just basically devise a strategy. I mean, I'm always doing. But I can't attack this round, so I would do it next round then.
Ooh, you know what? Why don't you give us a crafting or an occult roll?
Yeah. Okay. So then I take occultism.
Okay.
So let's see. 31.
There's an awful lot of them, and the targets are pretty small. I think you can tell the kind of careful, precise shots that you have been making thus far to take down targets gonna do fuck all against these things.
Yeah. Okay. So
okay.
So hit him with Okay. So.
You still have your 1 action. Do you want to get in your gun?
No. That actually that would be my action then.
Get your gun out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Dumer.
I will follow Basil in, hitching my skirt up and saying, "This poor dress! What an evening!" and zoom into there and then drop into tiger stance as I get through the door.
You got it. All right. So I think that's your... now, I think you would have enough movement between 2 actions to engage with these things if you'd like.
Oh, why not, if you're offering?
Sure. So you race in. All right. Then it is Dr. Ursprung's turn. What are you doing, Doctor?
When does this life boost kick in? Is that the end of my turn?
I think it's start of your turn. I think we looked this up last session. I believe it's at the start of your turn.
So what? Gains fast healing equal. So do I get 10?
6.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, not the level of the spell, not the level of the caster.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I've done that. Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give 1 to Igor, so he'll get 2 actions.
Okay.
So he's just going to continue to smash at these things around him. So the first one. And I haven't got conditions on him, so he's got -1, is he, for the clumsy?
Clumsy, I think, is only to like your AC or your reflex saves.
Oh, it's only the reflex saves and that.
Yeah,
So
I don't think it's
for attacks. Okay.
We'll check here. Only range attacks, yeah.
Okay.
Unless he's pulling a Thor here, then he's good. All right, stomping away again on these things. More. Oh no, hold on. There we go. All right. So that's first one. Yeah, he breaks a couple of them underneath him, and then that is it for that last one. All right. Okay. So there's only one swarm left of clockwork claws on him. What do you wish to do next?
And then the doctor's going to try and use his warhammer to smash the ones on him.
So I think you'd have to use one action to get the hammer ready, right? Unless you...
Yeah, I've got to get it out. Yeah. So
go ahead.
His last will just have 1 attack.
I love the idea that he's been using it as a cane at the party. Shakes it off. All right, so that is a great hit. That's actually a crit.
Oh, is it?
But these things, because it's a swarm, does not suffer crits, so...
All right.
That sentence was quite the journey, eh? Roller coaster. I got crit damage, which doesn't apply to this. Oh, no.
Well, it's rubbish, if you see it. So.
Yeah. All right. So you, likewise, you're smashing on these things. Then it is their turn. So let's first kick things off. You're still... Clumsy would go away at the end of your round. So let's start with that first. Igor needs 1 reflex save, and Dr. Earthsprung 2 reflex saves, please. And you're no longer clumsy.
The clumsy's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 1. He's good at that.
Igor.
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, Doctor. Now you could, or you were hero point in that? Is that what that second roll was?
Well, I had 2 to make, didn't I?
Oh, you did. That's right.
Doctor.
Okay, so one of those is a fail, one of those is a success. Do you want to hero point that fail?
Is there such a thing as a critical fail?
Not for this save. There is in other things, like damaging things, not in this case. It just means that you would be clumsy once again, and if you have to make more reflex saves this round, it'll make it harder.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the doctor's one again, the failed one.
The first one, okay, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, fail by 1.
Okay.
So then I need, let's see here, 2 more reflex saves from Igor and 4 from Dr. Earthsprung.
Blimey.
Okay. Oh, shit.
He's really good at that.
He's really good at that. So 11 damage from that first failed save and 7 damage from that second failed save, because those are both crit fails. So that's 18 points of damage to Igor.
Yeah.
These things are getting into every little, like, no, that's a vital bit, and ping, you see a spring fly out.
And then it's 4 for...
4 for Dr. Earthsprung, please, yeah.
I'm wearing out the button here.
Really. Yeah, it's 1, 2 successes, 1 critical success. You'll take no damage from that one, and very close to a crit. So you're going to take 3 half damage. All right, here we go. So you're going to take 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage in total.
Okay. Yep.
Dr. Earthsprung, but Igor's looking pretty... one
He's
of those,
state.
Yeah. If this was a Sam Raimi, directed scene, we'd see the claw's perspective as it climbs inside of your thing, and then its fingers begin getting caught in the gears within the mechanism, and shit starts popping apart. I think your Igor would also be voiced by Bruce Campbell in that case. Then it is Golag's turn. What are you doing, Golag?
I'm going to telekinetic projectile.
Okay.
At the wounded one.
You got it. Other bits of petrified clockwork claw go flying at it. That is a crit success, actually. So,
nice.
Well, it doesn't suffer crits, though. So, again, roller coaster. That one tears through the wounded bits that are on Dr. Earthsprung, leaving only one pack that are still on him. You have one more action.
I'm going to. I don't know. Would Shroud of Night? Do I think that would have any?
Likely to have deleterious effects on Dr. Earthsprung. These things do not seem to have eyes stitched into them.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, then I will close the distance to them with my with my cane dramatically raised, but that's it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Then it. Oh, you know what? Shit. Sally, would you give us give us 4 reflex saves as well? I forgot you moved into melee. Because those target everybody in there.
2.
So 2 success, 1 success,
3.
1 crit success, 2 crit successes,
4.
2 successes. Okay, so I'm going to take Sally. You take 4 points of damage total from these things because they're just everywhere.
Okay.
And Golag charges in with his employees. I will be with you. And Basil, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I I have my gun out, and I think I could. Can I shoot at the things that attack Igor without hitting Igor?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're a
Then
sharpshooter.
I will try that. Yes. Yeah. So let's see.
That is a hit, not a crit. Oh, hold on, that's piercing damage though. Yeah. So you blast one of them off of there. You still have 2 more actions.
Yeah, I think I will reload and shoot again.
You got it. Go ahead.
Just because no better idea at the moment. No. I think I will re-roll that one because we need
Sounds good.
Igor, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, and you guys should have got another hero point, by the way. It's 12:30. 12:30, and we're fighting. So, come on.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Bag money.
Yeah.
And
another critical failure.
Okay, so would Igor give us a reflex save, please?
It's fine. He's good at these.
Yeah, he's getting. There you go.
He's getting better at them anyway.
Yeah.
And that is. You guys are level 5?
Yep.
So that is 11 points of damage that Igor takes then. You could spend a hero point to re-roll that, though. It is a minion of yours. What did he roll for that? He rolled an 18, so...
Rolled an 18.
Did he? No, he must have rolled an... Because he's an expert in it, right?
Yeah.
So he must have rolled an 8 on that. So you got a lot of ways to go. You're not far off. You're 2 off from a success.
Yeah, I'll give it another go.
Okay. Okay. So unfortunately...
But are you sure that there's a bonus inside the roll? But normally it should add something, but it doesn't.
Oh, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, it says E10 on the sheet there. And it seems
so one thing we
registered
found, is everyone using Chrome or are you using Firefox? We did find that Firefox was causing problems with character sheets in Rogue Trader recently.
The Chrome now.
Yeah? Oh, okay, so that's not that.
I mean, I know the character sheet's a bit different because it's a...
No, in this one, like, we haven't had
companion,
issues with this one before.
No.
Yeah, why is that? Let me roll for me here. Yeah, there's no way. You got...
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Hold up. I think I know the problem here.
It's plus 10 always.
No, I think it was what Darren has been very accurate in his in copying from what level he is. I think the E that was in front of that was interfering with it. There you go. Because you had that E of the expert level listed for each of them. E10, it won't add it to the roll.
All right.
Yeah, it's very finicky. So going back, take your hero point back. That first roll was an 18 plus 10. That's a 28. That you take no damage whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, so there we go.
Yep.
All right, then. So that shot, it ricochets and it echoes through this big audience hall. Bang! Off of his hide. Ooh. But fortunately, nothing but cosmetic damage. Then, Sally, what are you doing?
I'm going to want to stamp on these little critters.
Please do.
Save Igor.
So it's now a flurry of blows, I feel, is in order here.
Excellent. Oh, you're doing slashing damage too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Go. That is a hit, not a crit. And that is enough to... Ooh, even with damage reduction, that is enough to... Let me just do this. I'll do this. Boom. Then I want to lose my initiative tracker. Yep. So that for the pack that are on Igor are completely gone. That's only one of your attacks. You can attack the pack that's on Dr. Ursprung as well.
And the other one on Dr. Ursprung, here it comes.
Can. Come on. That is a crit. Go ahead and roll crit damage. Oh, no, it doesn't take crits. Sorry. See how eagerly I want to see you guys do crit damage? My goodness. Oh, and hold on. It is resistant. Okay. So, yeah, you're tearing away at these things. 2 more attacks. Oh, it's potentially 2 more actions at least. Ooh. You want to hero point that?
Well, we'll hero point that, indeed. Yes, that's
nice
more
hit.
like it.
Holy smokes. Even with the reduction, that is enough. So Sally races in and with precision, slashing around, destroys every last one of these things. With the last strike being kind of a slash that separates the clockwork mechanism from the hand itself, and just a desiccated or not desiccated, desiccated and prepared hand falls to the ground. And the last bit of you hear that kind of springs falling out of clockwork sound, ping, pong, ting, and then it is silence in here. The only thing you can hear is the sound of Miss Fulmore running back, crying out, "Daddy!" from across the street.
So I think that the woman and her minion already left. The lady saw the cap we have already been talking about that was at the soiree as well. So I think we should find the lab, maybe. You remember where we couldn't enter?
Trapdoor in the
Yes, yeah.
poor quarters.
And then let's hope that they are there. Otherwise, we have to go through the cab company, maybe find out where the cab went. I don't know.
She didn't mention what time this was, did she? That the Sterling cab left, or?
Yeah, we can find out. That would be not a problem, but...
Yeah. You guys don't want to inspect the scene whatsoever?
Yeah, I think we would, but...
Well, I'd start pointing out what I've found so far while I try and deal with Igor and try and patch him up a bit.
So if, because you rolled so well on the perception check, you're easily able to point out there's some clear tracks here. It seems like you figured out what the source of the handprints are, but there are some big tracks from something much larger, something Dr. Ursprung's size. And there are the tracks of women, and those are coming and going.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys look outside, does seem like there's a lot of mud that's been tracked in the early parts here. No one has looked in the yard thus far, but you could take a look out there if you chose as well.
I shall go out. You look inside where there are some lights, and I'll go look outside where there are not.
Okay, so that'd be a survival check, please.
Oh, survival. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, you want a hero point then? There may be other members of your... I mean, you would know, especially by now, what each other's kind of strengths and shortcomings are. If you know someone else who would be better looking for tracks.
Yeah, it's like, Basil, do you think you could assist here? It's all of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm the person to look for tracks, but yeah, whatever.
Is anyone trained in survival?
No, I'm not.
All right.
Is Golag?
Let me see. Survival.
I can see in the dark.
Trained. Yeah, I am trained, as a matter of fact.
Oh, then
Yeah.
Master
You guys
Golag.
we have yet to learn what Golag went through in order to gain his powers, but it suffice it to say it involves some pretty hairy outdoor activities.
No expense spared, says Golag.
In your case, effort more than expense.
Effort. Well, you use loose talk again, loose language.
So Golag, if you come out, why don't you give us a survival check?
Oh, can I be of assistance? And I'll go out there.
That's more like it.
There are definitely tracks leading out here. There's at least Golag, at least two of those big boys who were here before. At least, there would be at least maybe 6 or 7 other human-sized individuals, and you most definitely can tell that the female footprints that were spotted inside by Dr. Ursprung, they're outside as well, too, on Mrs. Raycroft's lovely garden.
Well, look at here. Sally.
Yeah.
And those are all heading out of here as well, too. It also looks like there may have been people shuffled along, too. So the staff there... without having looked through here, you know that the household staff is probably in the range of about 6 to 8, and that's about the number, including Dr. Raycroft, who are gone from here. If you are curious, there is a small set of prints in here as well, either be from a child or from a halfling gnome, something like that.
And the large creatures wouldn't fit in a cab, would they?
In a cab, the things you faced, most definitely not, but you could fit them in the back of a wagon, and if there were covers on it, they would not draw attention to them.
It would have to be the wagon rather than the cab.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll pass that along. Yes. Sally, look closer. It's right here.
But
It's awfully mucky and landy.
As far as we can understand now, that most likely the people are gathered inside of this transporter and maybe driven away, or do the tracks lead somewhere else?
The tracks lead out to where, at least from what she was complaining about, Miss Fulmore was describing the wagon and the hansom cab being parked.
Yeah.
Or the cab.
Yeah.
So
it's
we
going
need
to
to track these vehicles then, eh?
Is it? Yeah, I was going to say, is it going to be impossible to track the vehicles through the streets?
I guess one of the advantages is it is fairly late at night. It'll be a challenging task just by looking for tracks, but he's more capable at this than you would expect given his, his polished veneer. Golag, why don't you give us another survival check? If you step out in the streets and see if you can see here.
He takes off his, gives him a little cleaning, and then goes out in the street.
It's pretty... Not quite. You could hero point that if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do that.
Making some room for the one at 1 o'clock.
Indeed. There we go.
There you go. There is a track. There are some tracks. One of the upsides to whatever is stacked in the back of that wagon, it's leading. It's not like leaving trails per se in the in the stone streets, but what it would be doing is that condensation that would accumulate over time. It would clear path for you to sort of follow. It's tricky, but Golag knows how to look on a specific angle to see those tracks heading away. So you at least know where they are now. These tracks will not last, but you have at least a path to follow.
Here, quick, into the carriage.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone piles in, and I think at that point, Miss Fulmore is coming out. You know, you've got no time. You can choose to speak to her, or are you gonna roar off in pursuit of this trail?
We're in hot pursuit, madam. And I snap my goggles in place, and and I tell her, you know, probably unnecessarily, clear out, and you know, send the thing into drive
with your goggles on, your you know, Isadora Duncan scarf hanging over your side, and head away. All right.
I mean, unless you think it would be better for me to, I don't know if anyone else can even drive, but I could hang off the front for tracking.
I think that's a good enough roll. You've got a path to follow right now, and to be honest, it really doesn't go that far. Okay. What this happens is it goes along, and it's really only a matter of about maybe 5 minutes of driving. Still in the neighborhood here, they're easily able to make good distance, and you're having to kind of wait until you're hitting the patches lit by gaslight, where you can see the path again, and then you're going along. And what it seems to lead to is there's a cul-de-sac that's sort of tucked away from some of the larger mansions. And what it is a sewer service station. This is a place where, to keep, to allow the necessary maintenance or repair work that is done to the sewers underneath this lovely neighborhood, there is a larger access point for that here. It's a one-story, maybe two-room shack that has a wooden service shed attached next to it, and from the size of the shed, it could accommodate the they would have wagons that they would be bringing around to transport the city of Paridar maintenance crew, if they were bringing people or equipment or whatnot that needed to be installed here. There doesn't appear to be any lights in here, but what do you guys do?
Is there a window?
There are windows in here. Yeah, this is a very unsecured thing. They're a little filthy because, when people do come here, they're not really concerned about the appearances necessarily. And it's tucked away so it isn't unsightly as far as the rest of... Unless you came down this cul-de-sac, you would not find the... you would not find any reason to come down here.
Yep.
What you see is the tracks... At least the heavy ones, they seem to lead directly into that wooden shack on the right side of the shed. It's otherwise a brick structure that, and I think, Basil, you would not need to make a roll for this just because of your extensive knowledge of Paridar, or at least the seedier sides of Paridar. This is a way of accessing directly down into the extensive sewer network beneath Paridar.
I will gesture dramatically at the where the tracks go to that shack.
Okay.
Yeah. So is everybody dressed for the sewers, Sally?
A deep, deep sigh from Sally. Looked woefully at what had previously been a beautiful dress.
Yeah, if I hear that, I'm going to be sighing too.
Someone is going to pay for this.
Look at my trousers. Oh, well.
Nice shoes, too.
Yeah.
I think I can leave the
remove my goggles. Oh, I might need my goggles in the sewer. I don't know. He wonders, do I need my goggles in there?
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
So
I leave my head in the car as well.
Dr. Earthwood, were you going to try and repair Igor?
Yeah, I didn't know if I'd do it at the house or if I could do it while we was in the carriage.
Yeah, well, it would have taken 10 minutes to do so. I don't think you can get to it in the carriage necessarily, because we've always been describing him as riding outside of it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how long the tracking was taking. And
5 minutes to get around here.
So, no, I meant when they went in the back garden to sort of look for tracks.
I think 10 minutes. I think you would. Yeah, why don't you give us a repair roll? Let's see if you can.
Okay, I'll go for a 20.
Him back together.
I'll go for a 20 crafting roll to see if I can Okay.
There you go.
I think it's 2d8 plus 10, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then you guys, you pull up, you cannot see any lights from inside either the shed or the what do you call it, the service shack. What do you guys do?
I'll, kill the carriage. I will, turn it off. Yep, lights, everything.
And while this is in a nicer neighborhood, it's honestly it's very, very quiet here.
Yeah. I think we should approach carefully and look for traps, because if that was my hideout, I would have traps all on the way.
This is Basil's secret reveal how he is the head of the Whisker Network.
Right.
Which, of course,
we all
doesn't
look
exist.
over at this kind of sinister sound. Basil's, he's like, ha, 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 ha. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think I would really look for traps on the way.
Sure. This will be a secret roll. What is your perception bonus?
11.
11. Okay. So, is it the shack or the shed you were looking for? Shack is where the wooden structure, the brick structure, is the shed.
I think we need to go into the brick structure. I think the other one is just where they park the thing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, no traps on the door, no traps on the windows.
Even more suspicious.
Mm.
The door is locked, if you're curious. And there is the crest of the city of Paridar on the outside. It's a little dirty and whatnot, but this is clearly a structure or marked as being owned by the city of Paridar.
Is it window to peek in?
You can give us a perception check only because it's a little filthy, but you guys are quite perceptive.
Okay.
I stand corrected. You want to hero point that?
Yeah. Do it.
Okay. And you've got dark vision, I believe, as well, because of either your orcish nature or otherwise. Looking inside, what you can see is there is like a like what would open up to access a coal chute, those heavy metal doors that are down, and you kind of can pull them back and then access a way of getting down. That's what dominates sort of the center of here. And it's heavy not corrugated, it's heavy steel doors, so you could like drive something on top of it without damaging it, and then also gives you a way of accessing the sewers or parking something in here. There is something parked in here as well too. There is that Sterling cab with no horses attached to it right now.
The Sterling cab's inside.
No sign of any people inside. No sign of any light inside. And otherwise, there is just looks like there are some sheds that likely have equipment for venturing down into the sewers. It has some gear. There's lighting implements, like all the stuff you would need for a member of the maintenance crew to head down in there. The oil needed to supply the lanterns and so forth. Although having an open flame down there might not be wise in a sewer.
So I don't have my lockpick set with me, because who takes that to some kind of evening? I mean,
you did take a firearm, though. I'm comfortable saying that you have a set of lockpicks on you if you brought your gun with you in your hat.
Yeah. Okay. So then I would try to pick the lock.
Yeah. If we look at Basil's, Paridar Boy Scouts, sash, I'm pretty sure the keep lockpicks on you at all times badge is earned. So yeah, you can easily, it's hidden somewhere else on your tuxedo. Go ahead and give us a disabled device?
Check. Thievery, yeah.
Thievery, thank you, yeah.
29.
Like, there's not even going to be a sign that it was picked. A clever individual looking at this to look for scratches and shit like that, the kind of things you would see if someone's trying to pick a lock. It's not even going to be like, that's not even going to be there. Easily pop this lock open.
Okay, so do we want to get inside? I think yes.
Basil's confident there's no traps.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head in.
Okay. You throw the door open and head inside. Think Basil, with your keen nose, you know now what you'll be venturing down into for this. So, yeah, it's not going to be pleasant. But what one merciful thing is that because you know you're going to be exposed to some pretty awful stuff down there if you're doing maintenance down there, and you're not going to want to be trucking that throughout the city. There is gear here like boots and, you know, the equivalent of, you know, rubbers, like galoshes, like the waders and whatnot. So you guys will be able to outfit yourself with the necessary clothing. And it does fortunately come in a variety of sizes because Paridar is a very diverse city. So
Bill like heads over. He likes the sound of that. Likes the sight of that.
Okay. There is a lock on the access to the sewers as well, but with a roll that good, Basil, it'll be, you know, a piece of cake for you to pop that as well. These are, like, they're intended to keep, you know, someone who...
Riffraff.
Exactly, like just casual people away. Anyone who's a determined intruder would probably be able to get past these, you know, these things. Would you give us a, let's see here, either a society or knowledge Paridar roll, Basil, only because you've had an interaction with these locks now.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember if you got a lower Paridar. Nat 20.
Ooh.
Whoa, wow.
Here's the thing. These locks, both the one on the door and the one that's on down here, these are not the kind that are supplied by the city of Paridar.
Yeah.
As you imagine, these are mass fabricated and whatnot and supplied out. Yeah. It's someone else's lock they've put on here, someone else's on here. And this is a fundamentally different design than what you encountered on the outside of that, that building.
Interesting.
Very different, completely different. The one that was out there was much more of a, like, done in like a unique creation kind of thing. And it is... The logic behind the mechanisms is very different. These are not uniquely made. They're probably picked up from someone. They're purchased from some other creator, but they're from the same batch. If you take a look at the shed at the side, or the shack at the side, likewise, same lock.
Okay, so before we, I think we should look at the cap at least for a good measure. But are there any rats already here, or only in the sewers? Maybe
there's probably rats in here as well.
Yeah, strangely enough, I can speak the language of rats, and I would just try to ask the rats how many people were there in there before. I mean,
sure.
I don't know.
So I think, why don't you give us a, I think do you use nature for that, or do you use diplomacy because of you can speak their language?
Use diplomacy skill, it says.
Nice, yeah, give us a diplomacy check then.
So that's the rat speak. So let's see if they could help me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe that's good enough.
That's only a 5. Yeah, do you want to try and fish for a better result, or?
Yes. Yeah? Come
okay.
on. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe.
Did I say that everyone got a hero point? Look at that! Holy smokes! I think I forgot. 1 o'clock. Everyone got a hero point too.
Okay.
So that's a crit on that. So what do you wish to learn from it? I think once you start speaking to one, there's like, you know, there's a running joke in Paridar of you see one rat, there's 10 you don't. Yeah. You start speaking to one, and then sure enough, they all sort of come out of nowhere. And you guys can see that Basil is having seemingly like a town hall with this collection of rats. What's a group of rats called? warren of rats?
Pack? I don't know.
Scurry of rats? I don't know.
I don't really know. So I just want to know. So there were, they might have not the language to describe it in detail, but there were maybe larger humans or larger persons and smaller ones. And I would just want to ask how many of these larger persons there were. So I imagine that they were like Adam or like these monsters we encountered.
So I think what they
would
describe is a colony. There we go. Thank you. Internet, I'm assuming. What? Oh, a mischief of rats.
I think that must be an RPG term for the pack of rats. I don't know.
I like that a lot. Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe like a colony, maybe like where like a nest is, and a mischief might just be a group of them.
Yeah.
A plague of rats, of course.
Ooh, nice.
Warm, whatever,
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then so this, you've collected together a mischief of rats to speak to. Here's what they would describe is that there was a group of people who were brought below as well. And there were also 2 poisoned ones that were there. And you may understand that because rats are omnivorous and they may, nibble away on things when necessary, including dead flesh. They seem to know that at least 2 of them were poisoned. So not to eat on them. And if a rat is saying that it won't eat it, that's really saying a lot. What they also, I think, volunteer, because you did roll really well. They like you. They don't want to see harm befall you. There's something there that eats, like you do not want to, there's a poison creature that feeds on rats.
Oh. I think we have to take care of that as well.
They strongly advise against it. This thing has been back and forth several times. The ones that brought the one that had the 2 poisoned ones with them, the people, they seem to have that large poison one does not attack them, but it feeds on any rats or any rats that go down there and any other things.
Okay, so we will. Yeah, we have to go in there because some of our pack is in there as well. So,
you would not be wrong in thinking as well, Basil, because you rolled so well in that society roll, that it would be noticed by the city if suddenly someone changed the locks on one of their service things. It may not surprise you to learn that as far as priority is concerned for servicing certain areas, the rich are the first ones to ensure that the drains are running properly. So if they change the locks on here, it would be very unusual for it's either something that's happened very recently and happens to have not been noticed by maintenance crews, or it's something that has been going on for a long time and somehow there's an arrangement in place.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, okay.
So, what do you guys wish to do next?
I think I just say to the others that these rats are our friends now, and they will help us at least look out a little bit, and that they were a number of people, and they went down to the sewers. And just to say, my background is a deep rat, so actually I'm maybe from the sewers or even below.
Mm-hmm. Like there are definitely warrens that the more traditional-minded rat folk live in, but they don't have to live in the sewers, though.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Like they're resistant to certain plagues, stuff like that, but there still is just like incredible maladies that come from being exposed to fecal matter for that long.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so, but yeah, you would be comfortable navigating down here.
Okay. So,
What do you guys make of this?
Well, I think it explains why they've been hiding so well if they're under the sea, and how they're able to pop up in places and then disappear, it seems, without too much disturbance or too many people seeing them. So there's quite a good possibility they've got some sort of hideout down here.
Indeed. We can hope that we find the headquarters down here.
Yeah, maybe even, horrible as it sounds, bodies maybe even being found down here and they taking parts from.
Yeah, you'd think the bodies of those hands are somewhere.
Yeah. There's lots of people who would pass in Paridar and no one would notice, or no one would, no official would give a shit about it.
Well, I think time is of the essence.
yeah.
I will don those. I can't remember what you just called them, Kevin. But is it the ones later with waders? Yeah, the suspenders with the that go up to your waist. Is that the?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, put them on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with the look of relief. I mean, it would just raise hell on my clothing for sewers.
If there's any other tools or whatnot that you would like to grab from here too, anything that you can reasonably think that a Victorian sewer service crew might need, you can find in this shed.
Like bolt cutters?
Yeah, a crowbar maybe.
Crowbar, definitely. I'm trying to think. The only thing I'm thinking of is whether bolt cutters exist in this setting. Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Any sort of spanner or something for undoing any sort of bolts or anything like that, maybe.
That's probably covered by your engineering kit.
Yeah, okay.
Right. That's in Igor. Now, something that George pointed out, that after 3 years of running PF2, I never noticed. You can spend an entire hour to increase the amount of healing you do if you start doing first aid. And I imagine that would apply to your repair as well. So I know you started doing some quick repairs here, but if you wanted to spend an hour to continue on with those repairs, then not first aid, continue or treat wounds. You continue to treat for an additional hour if you do the double the hit points they recover from treat wounds. So you spent 10 minutes trying to help or repair Igor. You could double the amount recovered if you're going to take a full hour to repair to prep.
I would love to, but I think the doctor's too worried about little Adam to.
That's understandable.
He doesn't want to have to rebuild Igor, but at least he can rebuild him. So he's going to give that a miss, but bear it in mind for future.
Okay.
Okay.
Then. Let's
go down.
Okay. You have removed the lock from that. You got everything together. Is anyone either active? We're going to be going to a map shortly here that will have dynamic lighting. So, who requires light? I think Golag has dark vision.
I have dark vision.
You have dark vision.
Dark vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only me that's got the low light.
Okay. So let me do this. I think it looks like we've already... Look at that. Who set up these tokens correctly? What a attaboy.
Nice.
Okay, now, Dr. Ersprung, let's give you... Let's see here. Is it in my screen here? How much light these give off? Not this one. Fortunate, we got backups, guys. Let's see. This one? It does not. I know, I'm trying. Got one more. Try here. Anna says hi, by the way.
What's up, Anna?
We had 2 sessions yesterday, and she was such an angel throughout the second one.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a good dog. Okay, it's not on any of them, unfortunately. So, I think I have to look this up every darn time of what the... oh, you know what? I'm a dummy. I could save myself time by going to the compendium here. I'll bet you there's a thing of lighting here. Light. Let's see here. Item... holy light, ancestries, classes, backgrounds. Okay, there's no rules here. Let's look at
Dr. Ersprung, you're wanting a source of light? Is that the
yeah, I'm just gonna see what
I mean, I do have a cantrip if that was if that would, but maybe you want one yourself, a source, if that's the...
Here we go.
Can it be cast on something, or
an object? I think I cast it on an object.
Yeah.
yeah? I mean, that would definitely work if that's...
Oh, that's true. I just... right. Good point. Cast it on an object that you're holding.
Yeah, and it's so you prepare your daily preparations. So if there's... and that actually would avoid the issue of open flame in the thing. So here's the upside. There are lanterns here that are sealed. If they're damaged, it would expose the flame to open, to the environment. That's not necessarily going to have an explosion, but there is methane that accumulates in sewers sometimes, so that is
I'll take the lantern, but I'll ask Golag if he can put the light on it as a
okay, so the only difference is that the lantern, it gives off 30 feet of bright, 30 feet of dim. The light spell gives 20 foot of bright, 20 foot of dim.
Yeah, I'll just go with the cantrip, and then if we get separated or something goes wrong, then I can at least light it.
When has anything gone wrong ever in this campaign?
Yeah, I mean,
this is an RPG. Plans always go off exactly as...
I don't know why the doctor's so cautious, but I don't know, something in the back of his head.
What do you want me to cast it on, Dr. Ersprung?
Well, if you put it on the lantern, and then if for some reason that goes out or something, I've still got it and I can light it as an actual lantern.
I will speak the incantation and tap the lantern with my cane.
Okay. Toop, toop, toop. All
impressive.
Right. Allow me to... put you guys down here. All right. Look at that. I'll get you guys set up here, size-wise, and then I think as you venture down there, one thing, Basil, there is one small upside to the secret rolls, is that my tendency to roll well on a d20 sometimes gets to work in your favor at times.
Yeah, that's great.
I rolled a nat 20 on your check for traps or other things as you were going to open that door. And what you found there was a mechanism. It would not have caused damage. It's not a trap per se, but it appears, I think if you have someone with more knowledge... Actually, hold on. Before I say that, why don't you give us a crafting check? PF2 allows you to make checks on knowledge on anything. There's no trained or untrained skills. So let's see how you do.
Yeah.
Can I see Basil inspecting it and assist?
I'm just going to see if he can give it other information. He may need someone who's got more expertise to take a look at it, but I'm just going to see what he gathers thus far from it.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I just wanted to say that I'm actually have a feat for disarming traps.
Right, so this is not a trap per se. I just want to see if we can... So that's a 7. You want to spend a hero point and...
Yeah, that's the problem, is that I'm not really good at it. So I would just... Yeah, but I rolled a 2, I suppose. I think I have to use a hero point. So let's see. So 18 is better, yeah. 18
is better. What you would guess for here's what I can tell you about this based on that roll is for one, this is unlike the locks, which are just different from something else but mass produced. This is a custom thing. The other thing you can tell about this appears to be there isn't any obvious trap here. It's not going to electrify something. It's not going to have blades shooting out of it. There's not a poison gas that's going to come out. I'll stop at the list now, but just to give you an idea of what could be down here.
Adam, could you carefully come over here? I think that might be an alarm or some sort of thing.
Sure. So he points it out to you, Dr. Earthsprung. Give us a crafting check, please. Yeah, this is some kind of notification. There's something, because you rolled so well with it, that's a crit. Dr. Earthsprung, I will let you make of this what you will, but if you were going to put something like this together, if you were going to bodge together just a little thing that would send up like a signal to warn someone, this is precisely how you'd put it together. Like, this isn't a matter of this is a design that you had that someone has stolen and put together. You just know on a gut level, if you were going to put something together like this, a little warning thing, you may even have something similar at different parts of your laboratory or your crafting facility. This is exactly how you put it together.
And from what I've learned from it, can I tell sort of where it's going back to, like direction-wise?
You'd have to get down there. It's because what you've noticed is is the mechanism that is sort of just on the other side of the door here. Basil, he thinks he could probably... You can disarm this thing and then try and determine more information about it. You're not going to need to make another roll. That's a real... You've got a good understanding of this, so once you gain access to it, but Basil would need to get with some thievery and disable this thing. I am going to give you a +2 if you choose to do that, Basil, because of your nat 20 on detecting it.
Yeah, and I would have a +2 for disabling things as well.
Nice, so +4 in total to this. Do you want him to try and disable this, Dr. Earthsprung?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, we should.
So the only two questions I had is, if we disable it, would I still be able to potentially trace, where I think the signal's going to? And the other question is, would we be able to somehow like set it off if it was linked to other doorways or something, like a false alarm in another part of the town or city? Do you think?
For the false alarm, you would have to... If
we wanted to, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think, like, absent any kind of magical effect, that's probably... Without having access to the... If this is like a... If you think of it like a network, right? Without access to any of the other potential triggers, it would be difficult to figure out how to do that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go for the disarm.
But it's definitely something you could do if you could follow this down. Okay, 23. Let me see here. And does that include the +4?
Yeah, it includes the +4.
Okay. That is just barely good enough. You've become very close to triggering it, and then you, I think, perhaps with Dr. Earthsprung's advice of like, no, that would. I think this would, cause this to tumble. You're able to work around that, and you guys are able to open these big, heavy metal doors without triggering this thing. And now that it's open, the smell you had before, much more pungent now. And there are stairs leading down to, like brick stairs leading down to, or not brick, but stone stairs with brick sides leading down into the sewers of Paridar. This is our first time down in the sewers of Paridar?
Yeah, more or less.
I think so. Yeah, I think we've seen the entranceway a few times, but...
We've been underground, but maybe not sewers.
Yeah. We were in the canals. So
yes, you were in the canals, which are separate.
Sort of network, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so then with that open, you will have an opportunity, and it does seem as if there is a thin wire that runs deeper into this. It is very cleverly hidden, but you can tell, I think, where this thing has been set, Dr. Earthsprung. And with... Anna's giving warnings about the things. Is there someone outside? Yes, there is. On the far side of the street, there is a lady stopped in a parked car. This is the level of security that Anna offers to Casa de Madison.
Nice. Doing your job.
Absolutely. Fuck you, lady. Fuck you, lady. So then, with the that exposed with the wire heading deep into the sewers, it does appear that you may have, at the very least, a trail to where the wire leads in order to follow.
Yeah. So we've got a direction to maybe
Yeah.
go.
Why doesn't everyone take a hero point? Dr. Earthsprung's already sitting on his max, and then we'll take our mid-session break, come back, and see what awaits you down below. Okay, so we'll be back, for those listening at home, momentarily. All right. So one quick correction. Anna was not yelling at the lady parked across the street. She was supervising my snow removal guys in their application of ice melt. So that is a very productive task that has been delegated to her.
Indeed.
Yeah. So there was more method to her, I guess, barking. Allow me to move you guys over to a map here. Oh, I'll shift click to bring you over to where you are. So, this, guys, this is the sewers of Paridar. I love a dynamic lighting maps. Oh. I am sure this means nothing. Oh, totally. Yeah, Basil. I years ago in a Star Wars game, I tried to convince one of our players to, because he was really skirting the edge of the dark side, it felt like. I tried to convince him to do in collaboration with one of the other players, to do a full-on dark side turn with the character, and then we would play two parallel groups of the dark side guys he's adventuring with, the light side people who are still trying to deal with the betrayal, and then bring everything back together in a big arc at the end. And the player's like, but I don't want to hurt him. I'm like, no, but the other player's on board with this. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to hurt him. Like, no, he's okay with it. It's like, if you don't want to play a dark side character, that's totally fine. But you've kind of been skirting there anyway. One of the downsides is with the games like, what do you call it, Force Awakens, and not Force Awakens, the massive multiplayer one, is that you can effectively play what's probably a dark side Jedi and still be light side without any consequences. So people's expectations on what is and is not ethical behavior by a Jedi is pretty wide open thanks to that fucking game. But all right, so let's talk about marching order, and let's talk about your SOP for making your way through here, knowing that there are traps, or there was at least, not necessarily traps, but at least one mechanism for warning people. Now, I've got your shadow is here, Golag. I just have him on the GM's layer right now until you summon him.
Is there a need for anyone in particular to be following the wire?
Well, I sort of spotted it or worked it out. Do I need to be the one sort of tracing it, or?
Well, really, until you get to junctions, you should be okay.
And would that? Do I think that might be also the power source for it? So it might, if I'm watching it closely, it might sort of come off a junction, sort of, and potentially power something else that might help me to detect other potential traps or things.
You would need to get to a junction in order to determine that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll use this light source that Golag's give me. I'll take the front. I'm happy to sort of follow the lead.
All right.
On the cable.
So, if I understand correctly, we are not trying to be stealthy. We are rather, we are careful, but not really quiet, because Igor is never quiet. So,
I think one of the things, because most of you have dark vision, you're going to be able to see for quite a distance. But honestly, even if you have dark vision, the source of light is going to be the thing that telegraphs to anybody else that something is happening and something is coming.
Yeah.
Do I think Igor would be loud or quiet if he went like where the water is, and would the sploshing sort of make more noise, or him going on the?
He'd be quieter if he was stomping through sewage and whatnot, but that also might agitate anything that might be in there.
Okay. I'll give that a miss then.
I'm sure the tails of either the Rat Kings or the crocodiles or the Morlocks that are said to live in the Paridar sewers are all wild exaggerations by the Penny Dreadfuls. But
similar to the Whisper Network.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take him out.
I think ponds are more dangerous because of those kelpie things. They are really, really dangerous. So
Yeah, you'll never look at a placid pond again. Same way.
Indeed.
As an aside, that was a great example of how good the the mechanics are in PF2 for playing that kind of thing. Not every game has that kind of like, oh fuck, he's dragging me under kind of mechanics. Well, it was just some hand waving, but that was really good. I'm glad no one died as well. So
not as glad as us.
All right, that's probably our closest to a Shadowrun style plan, because everything that was planned, none of it went forward, and it was improvised shit that saved the day at the last second.
Yep.
So, all right. Now, with you guys on the edge here, those stairs go down. You can assume that every flight of stairs goes down about 5 feet. So you could hop down, but it might be a little hard on your knees.
And is there like a path down by the side of where the actual sewage and the...
You will see the sewage and notice it when you see it.
Oh, we haven't got to it yet.
You haven't got there yet. This is part of the sewers are extensive in Paridar.
Oh, okay.
So then, if no one dares to enter the stairs, I will just go.
Well, let's. You know what, guys? Hold on. Let's just take a moment to talk about the exploration mode, because there may be things. You guys are at that level where there are things like follow the expert or stuff like that that you can make use of. So let me see if there's a handout here. Exploration. Okay, so there is, if you do a search for exploration or even explora, you will find a list of exploration activities that you can do. So if there are any, and then there are also skill exploration things. So if there is anything you wish to do, it will slow you down, but this is not the kind of thing where you're traveling over land and it's doubling your days. You guys would just be traveling a little bit slower than usual. It doesn't seem like you're racing to try and catch up with them. So things like, keeping an eye out for, what is it? The one that gives you the bonus for initiative.
I'll be looking at search, definitely, for sort of hidden things, concealed hazards.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're probably moving at a half speed already, because Dr. Earthsprung is making sure that you are following this. You're effectively using craft to track, right?
Yeah, I think that's definitely his idea.
Okay.
We've got the quiet allies thing, but it doesn't seem terribly useful, because it looks like we end up rolling with the worst roll.
Can you click on it? Let's see here. Okay. So the thing is, they are doing follow the expert. And I think that follow the expert.
I've got lead climber, but it's not relevant yet.
Yeah, so that would allow, as long as you're expert in an area, what follow the expert does is it allows someone who is not trained in the skill, to add their level as a proficiency bonus to the associated skill check, even if you're untrained. So it helps offset that a larger gap that grows as you gain levels, and you are untrained in skills. Let's see here. Yeah, and then for you, that's only the one. I guess the advantage there is that you're not spending a ton of hero points to continually re-roll, your checks. You're just making one check. If you roll poorly, you can hero point it and try and get a better check, and then just use that number, as opposed to, and the difference would be, each level of training gives you +2. Otherwise, you're using your stat plus with follow the expert, your stat plus your level. So the difference will be maybe 4 and 6 between the different levels of training. Oh, and you also get
and
with
Four people rolling, somebody's going to roll badly.
And that's just it. That's one of the things with those group checks is that you're really just fishing for someone to fail. Or it's like chain skill checks where there's not any significant input. They're just waiting for you to roll fail. In this case, though, that allows you... The reason that's good is they get the +2 because you're an expert. And you only have to roll the one time, and they get to add their skill challenge. So for, say, you know, untrained or unathletic individuals who are trying to scramble up an ivy-covered wall... what that would allow you to do, just as an example, I'm pulling out of my, out of the air. What it would allow you to do is roll your skill level plus your stat modifier +2, and use that as the best of, use that as the one roll. Whoever's the lowest for those modifiers. So I think there is value in it. It's just that it's,
And the lead climber one's good because it can stop people having something horrendous
from critically failing. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really good. Okay. So yeah, so what quiet allies would do is who is anyone not trained in stealth? No, yeah, sorry. So what is your dexterity modifier, Dr. Ersprung?
Well, stealth I've got -2.
What's your dex though?
0.
0,
It's
okay.
10. It's 10 dex, yeah.
10 dex, okay, so 0. So then that would be a 5, but you'd get, instead of the -1, you would get a +6. I'm assuming the -1 is from armor or something like that?
Well, I've got -2, it says.
Why on earth do you have -2 your... Let's see, where are you, Dr. Ersprung?
All this comes from me.
Yes, armor. -2 for armor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because hide armor. You know what? You can take that. Hold on. Because we're using... well, I guess you can keep that on if you want, because that gives you a better bonus than the unarmored rules we're using. Yeah, it's -2 from that.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
No, he'd stick with that. He's
Yeah. So
it.
really, what I'll give you is a +6. So what you would
And
do
all
is
this comes.
if you want to
This
lead...
comes from me creeping along, going, shh.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it. If you wish to lead then, Sally, what it would be is a 1d20 +6.
1d20 +6. Okay.
And you can, of course, hero point that if it doesn't go well. But that's pretty good. All right. So we got Sally keeping everyone quiet. We got Dr. Ersprung trying to foil those activities and keeping an eye on the wire. What about Basil and Golag?
Yeah. So if it doesn't make sense for 2 people to search, I would actually investigate.
Well, actually, let me tell you. So what Dr. Ersprung is doing, he's actually tracking. He's following the wire,
search,
right?
yeah.
Like that's what he's specifically doing.
Yeah.
If you wish to search, that's where you're keeping an eye out for other things. So you could definitely do that as well, Basil.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let me think here. GM will attempt a free seek check. Ooh, that sounds promising. And then Golag. Oh, you might be muted, Sean.
Yeah, I think I am.
So everyone, we've fallen out of how to do this. Mo.
Yeah.
For Mo.
Nice. Mo.
Dang.
I am thinking between either searching as well, although that may be covered, or doing the perhaps detect magic at intervals just for kicks.
Yeah, so the detect magic, with any kind of a spell like that, you risk fatiguing yourself if you're doing it like continually. You can randomly do it, but that's sort of like walking along a street with your eyes closed and opening up at random points. Like maybe it'll be really helpful, or maybe you'll miss something.
Wait, is it worth doing it at junctions, maybe, or something something that?
No, ignore me, Sean. Hold on. I forgot you're using. I was thinking of spells like the sustaining spells. Detect magic is one that's actually listed here. So no, I'm a dummy.
Yeah, it's in there. That's where I got it from. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely. So if you're keeping your eyes, maybe your eyes have shifted completely into shadow. We got Basil searching around for things that are going to kill you. We got Dr. Urstrong making sure you're not losing track of the wire. We got Golag keeping an eye out for any kind of magical chicanery. And Sally trying to keep the whole, process as quiet as possible. So here we go. SOP achieved. So why don't you guys move yourself a little further forward? Why don't you move yourself 50 feet forward? I believe the measuring tool works on here. Oh, it does. Oh my. That's good. You know what also works on here? Special effects. Look at that.
Nice.
Our Imagineers have worked for hours, to make this special effect work for you. All right. Okay, so it appears that you have come to your first junction here. Now, the wire appears to turn. If you're facing south on this map, Dr. Urstrong, it runs along the right-hand wall, gets up, and then it goes around the side and seems to continue on to your right. Again, if you're facing to the south. So that direction, correct.
Yeah.
And I owe some seek rolls here. Okay. Okay.
So, I should get to the corner, peer around the corner.
Okay. So it does appear that it continues on for some distance. And the wire carries along here. Actually, for those listening at home, let me darken up this GM opacity. There we go. All right. You can also hear some sloshing and slurping in that sewer down below. The drop down to the sewer is, I believe, a 5-foot drop, but the center of it might be deeper. It is a culvert style for carrying wastewater and other things borne by it. So, what do you wish to do next?
So it's 5 foot to the water, and then it goes down from there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What sort of amount of movement do you want us to do in increments or whatever?
I'm going to hit... There we go. Sally's thing was mixed up. Why don't you give us another 50-foot movement?
Okay.
I'll let you know something.
Venture forth. It's like this. No, that's like there. Yeah.
Okay, the sound of sloshing water. Whew. That seems to be evident now. Because you can see over here, Basil, that there's a swirling vortex bringing things deeper down into the sewers.
Interesting.
As far as you can tell, Adam, it is going along here. What you guys hear is the sound of something bellow. Maybe more moan. That carries down from deeper in the sewers.
I can actually see further than I should, I think, at the moment.
See here.
Just...
Oh, you know what? I wonder if someone else... Let's see here.
I don't know if Igor's got something...
No, what could be is that we could have... one of the characters could be set to... for
everyone sees.
Everyone controlling, as opposed to just one. Let's see here. Yep. Oh, you know what? Give me 2 seconds. I think we so rarely have used dynamic lighting. I don't think... We've had, only 1 or 2 fights that have actually been on maps, so I haven't gone in and made sure that everyone's characters are only visible. Yeah, give me a sec here. I can fix this. Immersion! There we go. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Golag.
So I will rely on Basil giving me the heads up if he sees something that I can't see.
Okay. Hold on here. I think we're almost ready here.
Yeah.
Oop, wrong thing.
Just wait for the Kraken to appear.
There we go. Sally Timera. All right. Can everyone only see through their token now?
I believe so. That looks right for me.
Okay.
Yeah, at least it changes with my token. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Immersion. Okay. What do you guys wish to do next?
Go to the bridge there. I mean,
Okay.
Towards the mooning.
So
Coming from up ahead and then down.
yeah. Let's see. Let's go. I mean, I would go here. And so just that we see something.
Okay. So you're fussing around with the wire, Dr. Ursprung, which appears to go along here and to the far side. And as you're doing so, you unfortunately touch something. Would you give us a crafting check? This one you can see the result of.
Okay.
Okay. You think you might have triggered something.
Ah.
Not a trap necessarily.
Do I think it's potentially a sound, maybe somewhere? I mean,
It may have been a signal. Like as you're following along on this thing, you're having to. It's very well hidden in a lot of places, and you just pulled something out and realize that at this junction, it seems as if they have another one of those, like another sensor.
Right.
But it may have been that you were standing too close to it, or something. You're fairly confident something was triggered. Nothing has changed about it, but there is a mechanism that you realized too late was here.
Yeah. I think I may have triggered something on this wire, but I don't know how far away it was and who it's alerted.
I would just search a little bit more forward so that we could maybe make a way around here.
Okay.
Can you see anything across the bridge that's worth investigating? Or
Yeah, there are two black columns in this house. Can you see them?
no?
They're very, very strange. So, I
There's-
don't know if
If you're as you're talking, Basil, there is the swirling vortex here that is filling up a fair bit of noise. There's the gurgling and sloshing of water and whatnot. But as you speak, further ahead, there is a very wide open area because your voice carries and echoes. So over here, oopsies, there we go. Over here.
yeah.
That cistern is a very large area. The walls the ceilings in here are about probably about between 7 and 10 feet tall. And as it gets into there, though, it does seem to open up into a much larger chamber.
Yeah, there's a large chamber. Do we want to investigate or do we just follow the wire?
So the wire could lead just to some sort of almost guard room or,
Yeah.
Yeah, it may not be what we're looking for, but it was all I had to go by to start with. But if you think this looks more promising, then maybe we should change tactics.
Yeah, so this mooing sound came from the south, so that's from this large area, I suppose.
Would you feel comfortable, Basil, stealthing ahead a bit? Check it out.
Yeah, okay. So if you want me to.
Where are you planning on scouting?
Then to the south and this, so
Okay.
like here or so. just
Yep.
so that I can. Let's see.
Okay.
27.
Nice. Well, this would be a secret roll, actually, for...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've already rolled for you. So go ahead. Move yourself where you'd like. I'll let you know if anything changes or happens.
Yeah, I think I will go here, and then I should be able to view.
So these are a set of stairs that go up 5 feet to up there. So if you scramble to the top, look at that. That is a big drain. It's about
a really big drain.
Yeah. And you can... what is your perception bonus again?
11. Or maybe 12. I mean, this should be subject of the investigation. But
I most definitely would let you apply that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you get up to there, and what you cannot see is there are there's no sign of any, people in here or whatnot. But I think or anything that breaks the surface of the water, which is slowly drifting around and hitting a drain and then kind of going down. But if you look up, oh boy, there are nests that seem to have winged things in them. They're very small, like no larger than maybe like maybe like a crow. I'm trying to think of what the size of the bird would be here. You can give us, I think, let me see here. There we go. Thank you, screen. You can give us an occultism check. See if you can figure out what these are.
It's 21.
Okay. Yeah. You're looking up these. These are the blood seekers. These things are. There looks to be, like maybe 20 of them up there, at least from what you can see. These are creatures that will land on you. Imagine like crow-sized mosquitoes that like traveling in packs. So, what sometimes can happen, like what their sewer workers would never work alone, and one of the reasons is because if someone gets set upon by these things, they could drain them of their blood, and you'd be dead, exsanguinated before you really had an opportunity to go and get help. They seem completely from where you position yourself and how well you've hidden, they don't seem to be aware of you. They seem to be sleeping. They're almost adorable, would it not be for the fact that they are so deadly?
Yeah, so then I would sneak back and report and say, well, there is this hall is filled with these blood seekers or bloodsuckers or whatever on the ceiling, so we can't go there. I mean, it would be
it's bloodsuckers, isn't it?
Yeah, bloodsuckers. Yeah. Very, very German, I suppose. Yeah, and so I suppose we just be very quiet and move around through the northern wall, and just go try to avoid this place.
Oh, yeah.
Very well.
You guys can, I think you should be able to look up, if you wanted an image of it, look up Bloodseeker on the compendium. It's a great illustration. So, what do you guys wish to do next then? Uh-oh. So look out.
Yeah, I think we should go and just try to avoid the spot in this house and just sneak further through the sewers.
This is where the wire continues along.
Yeah.
So we go back to plan A then, shall we?
Yeah.
All of that. Yep.
Okay. So you can move yourself to the far side if you'd like. If that's where you wish to go.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Where do you wish to go next? The wire, as far as you can tell, Doctor, continues on in this direction, set into the wall.
Anything to the south, Basil?
Yes, I think we should go left and or west and then south.
Continue.
Follow the wire, yes. Or we could have gone through the bloodsuckers, seekers, whatever.
Oh, that's where they are. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll move like 10 squares.
As you get to about there, you can hear from the direction you're coming that again.
Okay.
I assume that's something we've never heard before.
Most definitely not. You can all give us perception checks, though. There might be something to be picked up from this. Nat 1. Mom? Golag. So Golag, one of the curious things that can, you know, from Orcish culture is that they have a curious way, you know, there is like classical era Greece had a kind of piper who would carry two flutes and play them both at the same time as part of the like marching to war kind of sound. The orcs have a similar type of thing where it has like one set of one person can play two different kind of outputs for sound at the same time. Kind of like imagine a combination of like a bagpipe with two outings and a didgeridoo. That's the thing that you can play. And for orcs, for non-orcs, it's just like a horrific fucking bunch of noise. But for orcs, the reason they appreciate it is because there is a subtlety for picking up the way that the sound from those two instruments interplay with one another and achieve a unique and very complex sound. Which again, sounds like fucking noise to those who don't have the ear for it. You, however, that sound that's coming, it's actually two voices speaking at once. There's one deeper voice and there's a second voice that is speaking and saying at the same time, but like that orcish instrument, there is a second voice that is separate and distinct from that you can pick up.
So it's interference in a way.
Yeah, like anyone else listening, you would get lost in the noise because it's just a moan and whatnot. But Goldie's got the ear for it, and you can hear that there's a second, they start and stop at the same time, just like that kind of instrument would, which makes you think it is a singular voice with two mouths, perhaps.
Some strange creatures speaking. Two voices, though. We're getting closer to it.
Actually, we are running away from it, huh?
It's up ahead, is it not?
Up ahead.
Okay, yeah, then let's go there.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourselves along. You can go right to the edge of that the wall there. Someone's making up for being so quiet yesterday. Now, for here, Basil, this goes down, and you can see, of course, that it turns north again. Right, this landing here, there is a bit that there's a bit of masonry on the ground that seems to not quite fit. It does look like if you were to set a trap, this would be a place to do so. The wiring, you can tell Dr. Earthsprung goes along this way and in this direction.
So I would carefully point to the to the place where there are different different tiling or something like that. We need to work around this, and
you could try and disarm it as well if you wish.
Should I? Couldn't we just go around it?
It's unclear whether, like, there is that one bit of masonry that's
okay.
uneven.
Okay.
Whether it's just like one square where that triggers or not is another question. Nothing magical thus far, Golag. No.
Yeah. So then I would just try to disarm it. Let's see.
Okay.
Am I able to assist in that just to make it a
Do you
little
have
bit easier?
thievery?
I've got thievery. I'm not particularly good at it.
You could try. I mean, give us a thievery check, a DC 20 to try and assist.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Cool.
+1 to your thievery, Basil.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
28.
Easily disarmed. Okay. So you could feel free to move ahead without fear of whatever that trap was. Okay. What you cannot see here, there are stairs in this. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can. Hold on. Immersion. Let's see. There are stairs that are leading down to a deeper area. And that does seem to be open enough. Like, it's not cramped stairs. You know what? I just told you, I don't need to waste time trying to find stairs to put them down. Okay. The wiring seems to wind around there and head down.
Yeah, let's go deeper.
Okay. And
Or
allow me to find, where did I put it? Here it is. All right. And.
Adam is running away.
Okay.
Is it going north, is it?
Boom. Here we go. Do I have... Hold up
I
here.
think we get to another map. Just
Yeah, there's a...
It's a cool looking map.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I like...
Yeah.
is that the same map you used for the Witcher thing?
No, different one. It is from the same
Oh.
set, though. All these maps are done by Gabriel Pickard. And he just tons of really, really great stuff. He's got like 3 sets of different sewer ones, and then there's like a build your own one. I'm just too lazy, so I use the prefab ones, but it's a similar map to the Witcher one. Okay, so let me bring you over here, guys. And this is where you find yourself now. 2 seconds here to quickly slap down. There we go. Believe that covers this room. So, you've made your way down. The wiring continues off in the direction to the north along the wall.
I think we should go there and just figure out where to go next.
Okay.
Are we still getting the noises, the voices?
Only come in every now and then.
Further to the north.
Okay, carries up into the walls here, and then it heads northward again. Let me double check here. Is that right?
Yes. Is it east or west, I guess?
And it leads to this deadly trap where we are gonna die.
Would you think I would do something like that? Come on. It is going to the west.
Okay, west. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys can move yourself 50 feet once again.
Yeah, like to
Okay.
here.
Now.
So.
There you go.
So I think
Somebody, when they set up this map, was a little sloppy with the set of the dynamic lighting, so I'm doing a little bit of a patch job here. Okay.
So,
Your assistant?
Exactly, the assistant DM.
yeah.
You've heard my assistant all day. Yeah, she's shit with a mouse. Okay. So what happens is around this point, let me double check here. What happens is yes, okay. You get to there, and very briefly, you see something slosh out of the water and then appear beneath it to your left. Let's see who did well enough to spot what was there. Would you give us a perception check, everyone, please? At 20 from Sally. I think what I'll do... Let's see here. Anyone else? No. Okay. This is a kludgy way of doing this, but here's what I'm going to do. James, I'm going to send you an illustration, and I'll let you describe what just went above and below the water, because you got a perfect view of it. So I sent you a DM in Discord.
Watching from my phone. Where's it
Okay.
Come on. Ooh. It's like a big four-legged crawling. Looks almost like a dog with or a hyena. Creepy ass hyena with strange appendages. And huge jaws. Oh! It's disgusting.
Yep. Can you see what it's made of?
It seems to be made of bits and pieces of teeth everywhere, and oh, it's got body. It's made out of bodies. It's a horrid thing made out of bodies.
And it is about the size of a draft horse. It came up from the water, then disappeared beneath it to the left.
Okay, so this is the thing that the Reds warned us about, maybe.
And that has to do with all those chopped hands.
You mean that is the rest of, so the rest of the bodies used to form that thing?
You would think.
They use all the buffalo.
You can see bits of corpses hanging out of it.
And it looks like it could come out of the water and easily walk on.
Oh yeah.
So it's amphibious, probably, perhaps.
It's like a hyena. It's like a hyena with bigger front legs and back.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't really breathe and so on. It's like a magical creature.
Oh yeah, detect magic is I don't know what the range is, but all good.
Still, yeah, nothing. Although you will recall that the creatures that you have encountered thus far, the patchwork thing and whatnot, they don't appear to be magically animated. They're not necrotic.
Got it.
So
okay,
this appears to be a very large area. Let me just do one thing here.
Should we try to face it, or should we try to sneak around further?
Oh, which way did it go? I mean, did it go away from us, or
Here, Kevin, up here maybe.
It's in the water.
Oh, it's back in the water?
Yeah.
So it hopped out, then hopped back in?
It surfaced like a whale that Sally got an incredible view of, and then it disappeared back below the sludge and slime.
Which is
So we don't even know if it can, maybe it can, but we don't know if it can come up out of that sludge very well.
No.
Oh, I think it can. It looked like it could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 foot lip in it, or wall.
So, and then I'd probably suggest that I just sneak a little bit further and just come back. I don't know.
I was going to suggest the same to get a little bit better idea. If there's like 6 of them back there, or 1 of them, or... Of course, you can't tell this in the water, but who knows?
So
Okay.
I think, Kevin, you are rolling for me again.
Yes, I was getting the sneak check. So I was setting up the... I've set up dynamic lighting for each of the columns, too, so you get that hidden line of sight as you make your way along.
Yeah.
I think we've got it, so...
So you missed one column, or it is broken.
Well, let's see here. Let's go. We'll address that. Oop, come here. Dynamic lighting.
It's
Oh, I did.
transparent
So I did. Hold on, let me address that. That could be the place it's hide behind. Oh, no!
No.
There we get that in there. Yep. That in there. Yep. Okay. Think I got them all now? No, wait, I'm missing one. All right. Okay. Then. Basil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it says you're a rat folk, but you sure you're not a canary folk?
No.
Hey. Gian trying to stir the pot. Everyone hold fast.
All right. So you're going along here, and you can see precisely what you see there. Like, this seems to sprawl out. The ceilings go up quite a bit here. They're about 20 feet tall in here. This looks like to be some kind of junction. You can hear water flowing in a bunch of different places. You can see that there are platforms leading up into different places. Maybe a junction to move between things. And you can hear then, as you're sneaking along, over there, those bars, it serves like a gate, almost like a sluice gate, but they rattle as if something large banged against them.
Okay. I think I would just move, 2 steps further so I can see a little bit more
Yeah.
what's going on here.
So it looks like now where you have walked across wooden gangplanks in a lot of places, these are stone arches that go right across these larger surfaces.
Yeah. So if I understand correctly, then this thing would be hampered by those kind of gates. So
Unless they are broken underneath. They don't look like they're in great shape. It didn't have the sound of something banging against it and coming back. It had the sound of something rubbing up against it.
okay, so it's gone under there. So I would just go back and say, well, we can go further. There seems to be a gate over here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, and that only goes, it stops at the lip of the surface here. So it only goes from like the surface and then down into the water.
Yeah.
But it may not be serving a...
Yeah, and farther along there's a stone bridge which allows us to travel further to the west. I don't know where we are supposed to be going, but it seems like the west would be maybe a good idea.
How would we cross the, is it possible to cross the canal?
Yes, there is a huge stone bridge.
Ah.
And it's not wooden, so we encountered wooden stuff, but this is really good old stone, so that should work.
Should we try to be quiet at this point?
Yeah, I think why not, yeah.
Okay. So then, Sally, you've got a +6 to this. So this will be a secret roll. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I write it down.
And then we hobble along.
Why don't you move yourselves? Let's see here. We're gonna count it out. You know what? I have a suggestion. Why don't you take 2 weeks to consider that course of action, and we'll see what happens in our next session. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session. Boy, what was this? 8 of our ongoing Spires of Paridar campaign. We up here? Oh boy, where are we? Do I not even have the title screen titled? No, I don't. All right. I should probably do that right now. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 8 of our ongoing Spires of Paridar campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to this campaign, every other campaign we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other terrific channels for finding a group, for information about virtual tabletops, for just general discussion. There's a really great community that has grown up over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There is also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. And not only do they have an amazing selection of new board games, card games, and role-playing games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. In 2 weeks, I want to be in Astartes. Yeah, that's not a bad plan. There is... they have not only a great selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, they have a great system for setting up a want list. So if you have something that they don't have in stock, you can put it on a want list, and they will send you an email when it comes in stock. The code that is down below is not working right now, but come tomorrow, I should be getting our updated code. We heard from the folks at Noble Knight Games, and we'll be getting our updated one tomorrow. So if you make a purchase of $10 or more, come back and check a video after this one, and there will be a new discount code, and when you enter that code, you will save yourself 10% on any purchase of $10 or more. Shipping abroad is a bit pricey, but that's not for them, that's everybody. If you happen to be in the continental United States, you can get some pretty sweet deals on shipping from Noble Knight as well. Or if you are happening to move, or you're slimming down your collection, they also purchase a bunch of stuff too and give some pretty competitive rates for that. There is also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in Ukraine and the surrounding countries at the time of recording. All donations that go through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. And as a small way of saying thank you, we have two ways of saying thank you. One of them is that if you donated $10 or more, you will be able to vote on the different components for our ongoing year-long Year of Ill Omens campaign. That is... we've had 2 sessions so far, and donors have voted on the different components of those ones. We've had 1 session set in the age of piracy that we played with amazing adventures, and we had another one set during the early years of the Roman Empire that we played with a custom set of rules for using Zweihander and Blackbirds. And we'll be having similar voting. Right now we're voting on what era and what specific time period we're going to be playing in, and we will have other things you can vote on. So if you donate $10 or more, in addition to helping out some kids who could really use some help, you get that. And if you donate $25 or more, you'll get a chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart illuminators. So Darren, Ingolf, Sean, and James, thank you so much for joining us for today's session. Excellent. We've made use of our first dynamic lighting map for dungeon crawling in here. We're slowly segueing into this being an official Pathfinder 2 game now. We've got dungeon crawls. You did avoid the nest of Bloodseekers, but, Not everyone wants Constitution loss on their characters, so I understand if you didn't want to engage with those. But yeah. Then, for those listening at home, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time to return to the streets, or to the sewers underneath the streets of Paridar. And until we see again, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and see the troubles that our stalwart illuminators are uncovering underneath the streets of Paridar. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.